Hello, good people, and welcome back. This is We Talk Football, and we're back with another video. And today I wanted to talk about Liverpool, man. Um, Liverpool have had a few run of games that have not been champions worthy. They've lost three on the bounce in all competitions. They lost last week in the Premier League to Crystal Palace, midweek in the Champions League to Galatasaray, and last night they lost to Chelsea. Now, those are tough games, but if you're Liverpool and you've just won the Premier League last season and you've had the kind of summer where you bring in a talent like Florian Wirtz and you bring in another world-class striker like Alexander Isak, right? You want to have a better run of games than that. And I think it's been a little bit disappointing for Liverpool, but I don't think it's a crisis. It's actually far from being a crisis. Of course it's disappointing, but they're still in the title race. They are just second, right? 1 point off Arsenal. And it's so early. It is so early in the season. We've seen Arsenal have long periods being number one and lose it, right? So it's still early. But before we get into the video, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below your thoughts. What do you think? And share. Also turn on your notification as well for every video that we drop. Liverpool. Now, as I've just mentioned, right? Liverpool have had a few really tough games. Last week they lost to Crystal Palace, and I think if you watched that game, right, you have to say actually all three games: Crystal Palace, Galatasaray, and Chelsea. If you watch all those three games, you have to say the better teams won. Crystal Palace were better. Galatasaray were better. Chelsea were better. And I think that's been a little bit of a theme for Liverpool this season, where teams have actually outplayed Liverpool in large parts of games. And because Liverpool have such star quality legends like Salah is a legend of the Premier League, right? Van Dijk is a legend of the Premier League, and they just have that kind of star quality. They've been able to pull results out of the hat, out of trouble, and get all 3 points in some games, right? But now it seems like all that kind of like uncertainty and not playing well, it's kind of catching up to Liverpool. It's quite unsustainable to win games like they have been last minute against, Bournemouth, last minute winners against Newcastle. It's not a way that you want to play football. Last minute winners against Atletico Madrid. I mean, it's exciting. It's great if you win a football game like that, but not every other game or every game you play, you're going down to the wire and in search of a winner. And I have thought of a few problems for Liverpool that I think, they're facing, and some of them can be fixed. I think the first thing is defensively, they're not as good as they were last season. They seem to concede every game. And right now in the Premier League, they've conceded 9 goals already. And last season, I think at this point, they had only conceded 5. So that's a huge difference from what it was last season to this season. Now, one of the problems defensively that they have is, I think Ibrahima Konate is not playing up to his standards. He's a really talented centre back. He's so big. He's so physical. He's one of those brute forces where if you're a striker, you're trying to avoid as much physical contact with the guy as you can. He's a unit. He goes 6'4", and he's got weight about him. He puts himself about. But this season, he's not got his timing correct. Last night I watched the game against Chelsea. He missed so many passes and very simple passes like passing the ball to your centre back partners, Van Dijk, or passing it to a fullback. He missed a few passes, and you could see just some of the life out of the Liverpool defense and midfield kind of, you know what I mean? Like they lose a bit of energy because of that. And I think he needs to get his season going, and he needs to get his timing going. His defense has not been good as well. He gets beat quite a few times, and his timing is so off. Now I don't know if his head might have been turned by Real Madrid. Maybe he wanted to go to Real Madrid in the summer. He is in contract talks with Liverpool, and he hasn't signed yet. And I think if that doesn't get resolved by the end of this season, he's going to be a free agent. And we all know the story between free agents and Real Madrid, right? Hey, and they love Liverpool free agents. We just saw one go there this past summer. The other thing for Liverpool is, I think at right back, they thought they were going to get Frimpong, who was going to be a great, great replacement for Trent. Now, I also thought it was a good replacement. Offensively, defensively, I've always felt like he's such a liability. He's worse, if you can actually imagine it. I think he's worse than Trent. He's worse than Trent defensively. He's so small. He's so slight. He's weak. I feel like fullbacks can bully him. And even though he is fast, but I don't think he's a good defender. He's not a good fullback defensively. Now, offensively, he can go forward and he can create chances. But also offensively, he's not as good as Trent. Very few fullbacks are anyway. But going forward, I think Liverpool are missing what Trent used to offer, because Trent could, spray a pass across the field or spray a pass to cut the defense, and Salah is through on goal and creates a chance just like that. Frimpong obviously does not have that. And I don't think Liverpool have replaced that in any way, like maybe a midfielder who can come in and spray balls like that to their offensive players and spring quick attacks. Because they have quick players. Gakpo is quick. Salah is quick. Isak, Ekitike now. You know what I mean? And they need... for the way they play, they need someone who can provide those kind of defense-splitting long passes to the offensive players. So I think those problems defensively are quite big. I think Kirkes hasn't been as bad as Frimpong. I don't think he's bad at all, but I think he hasn't reached the levels that he has when he was at Bournemouth. And so that's a little bit of a problem, because you still have Andy Robertson there. And I've heard a few Liverpool fans saying maybe, going back to Andy Robertson wouldn't be such a bad thing. You know what I mean? And quite a few times this season, Kirkes has come off for Andy Robertson. And that kind of says maybe there's still a little bit of uncertainty, and I think Kirkes is not fully trusted yet to finish every game, to finish important games, tight spots, which I can see. I mean, if you watch him play, right, he's not been as good as he has to be. Van Dijk is excellent, one of the greatest of all time. One of the greatest, not just in the Premier League. I have Van Dijk in my top 10 centre-backs ever. That's how good he is. Alisson is still Alisson, but the thing about Alisson is he is quite injury prone. I think for a goalkeeper, I don't think I've seen not many goalkeepers as injury prone as he is. Probably the other one who always gets injured is Thibaut Courtois, and they're two of the best goalkeepers in the world. It's quite ironic, right? How much injuries they both get as the best goalkeepers in the world. And I think some of their best players are not playing to their standard. I don't think McAllister has been as good as he has been since arriving at Liverpool. I think his first season was better than what he's showing us right now. I watched the game yesterday and he struggled to make Liverpool play. And I think of all the midfielders in that team, of all the players in the Liverpool team, I think he has the most responsibility to make sure Liverpool tick and the passes go through in midfield and they get to their offensive players. I think Gravenberch's job is to win the ball back, to provide energy and legs. I think Szoboszlai is quite similar in that sense, but the one who has to control the tempo for Liverpool is Alexis McAllister, and I don't think he has been as good as we've known him to be. I think Alexis McAllister is one of the best midfielders in the world. I think he is world class. I like him a lot. And I think he has to play a little bit better than what he has shown. For Liverpool to get back to the standards, that we know for Liverpool. Mohamed Salah is the other one who hasn't been playing well. And the thing about Mohamed Salah is he usually has a really good start to the season and he kind of slows down in the second half of the season. But this time it seems like he's had a really slow start. I think, how many goals has he scored? So I think he's only scored two. He's only scored 2 goals in the Premier League this season. Now, I don't know if that's because maybe there's been real quality additions in the number 9 for Liverpool, Ekitike and Isak. Do they take some of the chances away from Mohamed Salah? I don't think so. Maybe that's the question. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't think so. I saw yesterday's game. Mohamed Salah had quite a few chances where he could have impacted the game, where he could have done something of substance, create a chance or score a goal. And each time he made the wrong decision. Quite a few, I think I remember twice him coming off the left, taking shots and him missing badly, uncharacteristically. That was not Mohamed Salah. That's not the one we know. That's not the lethal, deadly, wingers in our generation that we've known to come. Not that we've known. And he's missing easy chance. Well, not easy, but he's missing half chances that you'd expect for him, his standards, to at least hit the target. Maybe force the goalkeeper to make a save, but really score. Score in that position. If you know Arsenal have won their game and they're top and you want to put pressure back on, you have to score some of those chances he got. Ekitike is fantastic. I like Ekitike. But he's a young player and he started off really well, actually. And I think he's handled the pressure of being at Liverpool really well. Isak hasn't been great. I am just going to say that's probably because he didn't have a preseason. I think he's playing himself into good fitness. And I think once he gets going, he'll be awesome. Now this guy, Florian Wirtz. It's been a disappointing start to the season for the man. It is a little bit worrying what he's doing because if you're as talented as he is, you can't pull off all these 007s, 008s. It's already looking really, really heavy for Florian Wirtz. Now, I don't want people to get this twisted. I think Florian Wirtz is one of the most talented players in the Premier League in world football. I like him. I saw him play in the Euro Championships 2024. And he was by far, I know he scored more goals for Germany, but he was by far the second best player for Germany. And it was quite a distance between him at number 2 and Musiala. And that's when I felt like I don't think Florian Wirtz is as good as everyone, or as, as he is spoken about. He is good. He is great. But I think if you're, at least not now, I don't think he's a 1A kind of player where he can drag your team to victories. I think he needs other co-stars around him, other A players, other players who are just a level above his to win things. And that's when you'll see the best. Now, the funny thing is, Liverpool have that. Liverpool have great players around him. Isak, Salah, but he's still struggling. And I think the expectations for Florian Wirtz have to be a little bit lower. I think I have a friend who described Florian Wirtz as the love child of Lionel Messi and Kevin De Bruyne. And in my eyes, I was like, I don't think he'll ever be close to those guys. I don't think he'll ever be as good as, maybe he can be as good as Kevin De Bruyne one day. He'll never be close to Lionel Messi. No one will ever be anyway. But I think Florian Wirtz is under so much pressure now because of the start that he's had. No goals, no assists. And I don't think football is just stats. But even when you watch him play, he looks kind of nervy. His touch is not settled. He looks like he's a little bit scared to make mistakes. And sometimes he makes runs that hide him from receiving the ball. Now, this is what I said. I posted this on Facebook. And I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but I think Florian Wirtz will be the next Mesut Ozil. Great talent, great world-class talent. One of the most talented players right now going, right? I don't think he will be world-class. I think he's going to be good. I think that's a ceiling, like a really good, like a great player, but not world-class. I can give you a few examples of players who were really good but not world class, like Florin Malouda. I liked Florin Malouda. He worked hard, created chances. He was great for Chelsea, but he was never really world class, even with all the titles he won with Chelsea. Thomas Partey. I think Thomas Partey has always been great. I don't think he is world class. I don't think he ever was world class. Heung-min Son, even with all the goals that he scored for Tottenham, the partnership that he had with Harry Kane all those years back, him and Harry Kane have the most prolific partnership in Premier League history. I don't think Heung-min Son was ever world class. He was good though. He was really good, and I think that's where I see Florian Wirtz going. I think he'll be really good. I don't think he'll be world class. I don't think he'll be at any point be considered as he's the best midfielder in the world or he's the best number 10 in the world. In those kind of conversations. But with all that being said about Liverpool, all the things that I've mentioned, I still think Liverpool will win the league. They just have too much quality, too many good, experienced winners to not win the Premier League this season. They have Isak, bro. They have Isak and Ekitike. You know what I mean? That's an insane attack. They have Mohamed Salah. You know what I mean? Let's say Mohamed Salah starts getting going and he scores 20 goals. And Isak is more than capable of getting 18 to 20 goals. We've seen Ekitike come through and score already and be lethal. I think he can get 10 to 15 goals easy, 12, 15 goals easily, right? That kind of quality is too good not to win a trophy. I think Alexis McAllister will be good. I think Florian Wirtz will come back and he'll be good. I think at the back, I don't think they'll ever be the best defense in the league, but I think they'll bring it back. I think they'll hold it back enough to get them through. And who knows? I think maybe in January they'll go back for Mark Gay, and I think that's if you ask me now, or maybe like if you ask a Liverpool fan now, who would you have like needed more at the end of the window? Would it have been Isak or Mark Gay? I think they needed Mark Gay way more than they needed Isak, because they still have Mohamed Salah, they still had Hugo Ekitike. And Gakpo is also really good. He scored yesterday. He's still in the team, bro. So, yeah, I think it's too early for people to panic about Liverpool. Liverpool are one of the best teams in Europe. I think they're the best team in England, and I think they'll come back and win the league. But anyway, let me know what you think. Remember, comment down below, like, subscribe, share with your friends. Football is really good this time of year, so I'm enjoying myself. Glad my team won. And yeah, let me know what you think. What do you think about Liverpool? Where are they going? What do you think about the people I spoke about? Isak, Florian Wirtz. Turn on your notifications bell, and yeah. Anyway, peace, my people. I will see you and have a good weekend. Awareness.